I'm Gabrielle Clarke, also known as the Quaint Boss, and I'm a designer. So I design Afrocentric pieces, clothing, bags, yeah, all the works. And I also do YouTube videos on business tips, life tips, and sewing tutorials, pattern making videos, stuff about shipping, kind of teaching people how to develop their business and their personal lives. I honestly don't know where the whole fashion designer thing come from because I started out studying to become a dentist. Actually, I started out studying to do biochemistry, and after a year, I switched faculties to medical sciences, and I was pursuing a degree in dental surgery. And after the first year, I realized that I'm not really that passionate about it, and I ended up starting to make my own clothes, started altering clothes for people, and just seeing how much freedom I would have being able to create exactly what I want, in the color I want it to be, the pattern I want it to be, the shape, the size, and everything. So what eventually happened was, through me making stuff for myself, people got drawn to it and they were just like, can you sell those? Could we order some of those? And little by little, I took orders from my classmates, my friends, until eventually it just became a big thing where I had even strangers ordering my products. And it's been almost 5 years. November of this year would make 5 years, and I am just grateful to know that I have so much freedom being able to create a business for myself, to pay myself and not have to work for someone. And I stuck to it because I knew I'd be creating a legacy, something that I would be able to pass on to my children. I'm a kind of little bit, I don't really like telling from people, so the whole boss thing and 9-to-5 thing, it just wasn't going to work for me. So I chose the path where I'd be able to set my own time to work and do exactly what I want to do and what I'm passionate about. So that's why I'm still on this journey right now. Very first thing is to remember that your life is yours and you have to own it. If you are trying to live your life, trying to please everybody and trying to stay in everybody's good graces, you're going to end up not being in your own good graces because you're doing what everybody else wants and you're not doing what you want. So my advice is to put your heart and your passion first. Always prioritize how you feel when you're doing something. So if you don't feel alive doing something that your mom wants you to do or your dad or whoever wants you to do, then find what makes you feel alive. And at the end of the day, you have to think about your happiness. If you're not happy, then you're honestly doing yourself a great injustice. So sometimes you're going to hurt people by making those decisions, by doing what you love. Because when I switched from dentistry to just not doing school any at all and deciding to make a dropout, my parents never did happy with it. We weren't necessarily on good terms about it. They thought I was making a stupid decision. Like, why would you go from being a dentist to go sew for people? Like, that don't make no sense. But I was confident enough in myself and I was prioritizing my peace of mind and knowing that down the line, even if I were to stay in dentistry, I was kind of seeing down the line to see I would be unhappy. And I decided, you know what? I can't do that to myself. It makes more sense for me to do what I love. You have to be okay with disappointing people sometimes. You have to be okay with like ruffling some feathers and rocking the boat. You really just have to do what's best for you and understand that consequences will come with it. That's why it's important to build up your own, self-reliance and self-sustainability, so that even if people should ostracize you and say, oh, you're a fool because you made a decision there, you still be able to stand up on your own 2 feet. Some changes I want to see in the fashion industry is people being more creative and letting their creative side out. So instead of just doing what is on trend or doing what you see every other designer doing, tap into your own creative self. Like, what do you like? Do you like shapes? Do you like big objects? Do you like small objects? Do you like cartoon characters? I feel like people should start to get creative. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever you feel most drawn to, show that in your fashion sense. So I would consider myself to be an Afrocentric person. I am pro-Black, I am pro-African, and so that's why I use African prints in my designs. When I was just starting out, I thought that maybe it's something I would have to change because oh, nobody now wear African print and that not trendy and that not fashionable and all of those stuff. But then I was like, you know what? This is me though. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love. So if I show my love for it and I present it in a way that's true to my heart, people will start to love it. You can actually create a niche. You can create a trend yourself. You don't have to follow the trend. So that's my advice to fashion. You know, that's where I want fashion to go, basically. I just want to see people showing their personality more in the things that they create and letting their authentic, true self shine. Even if you feel like it's not a good idea or it's like outlandish or it not hot enough or whatever, just do it because you never know, you could change the game. Honest, what I do to connect to my authentic self is, first of all, you see social media, it's a very useful platform, but when you feed yourself with it too much, sometimes it can take over your own creative mind and you find yourself doing things just because you see everybody else do it. And so what I do to connect to my authentic self is to just shut out social media sometimes. I'll go into a meditation. I will literally just think, like just zone out everything and everyone and just think. How do I feel about what I'm doing right now? Is this what I want to keep doing? Do I want to add more to it? Do I want to take away from it? And I always analyze all my actions. So anything I do, anything I create, I look at it and I'm like, is this a true reflection of me? Is this a true reflection of my heart? Or am I seeing some form of imitation in it? Or am I trying to knock off somebody? Am I trying too hard to be something I am not? So I ask myself those questions, and whenever I find that that's the case, I allow myself to go back to the drawing board. I literally just put down something I'm working on and just go do something else. Go cook some food, go do some yoga, meditate, whatever it is. And a very big part too to finding my authentic self is personal development. Personal development has been a very big piece in my journey, because that allows me to tap into my true self. That allows me to get to know who I truly am without all the noise and without what everybody else say or without other people's judgments. When I am able to reflect on who I was as a child and the things I was passionate about, I check to see if those are still showing now in what I'm doing. And I try my best to just always stay close to home, and when I say home, I mean what feels right to me and what resonates with my heart. Every individual has both energies. We all have masculine energy, feminine energy. So it's up to each person to find the right balance of each of those. And I do believe for sure that confidence definitely has a lot to do with the masculine energy side of everything, because that's where you're assertive, that's where you put yourself out there, and that's where you have people seeing you. Like, you have to, the way how I channel it in a feminine way is, first of all, I don't try to be a man. I don't try to act like, say, oh, I'm superior to man or nothing like that. I understand that myself and my male counterparts, my friends, leaders, them kind of thing there, we are on the same level. We are all the same. But it's just a matter of how we exude that confidence. So I show my confidence in the way that I speak, the way that I present myself to the public, the way that I dress. And I keep it true because I dress how me want to dress. I'm not going to wear something just because it's in trend. I'm not going to not wear something just because, oh, it looked too colorful and it looked too bright or something like that. It's all about staying true to you. being who you are. If you're a colorful person, be colorful. And when you're trying to be somebody else, or you're trying to be what you're not, or you're trying to turn down the volume of who you truly are, that's when you seem like you don't have no confidence, because you're not being yourself. But when you're able to be yourself now, it's effortless. It's like it just flows. You don't have to try to be confident because you're being yourself. And when you're being yourself, you don't have to fear that people are not going to accept you because you accept yourself. I'm very big on self-care. I believe that if I'm not at my best, I can't give my best to my business. If I'm not at my best, I can't give my best to my customers. So if I'm losing sleep and I'm cranky and my body feels a lot of tension and I'm tight in all these places, like I'm not going to be able to talk to my customers in the upful way that I feel like I should because I'm grumpy. So I prioritize sleep. A lot of people would say, oh, sleep is for the weak and sleep is for the poor and blah, 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 blah. But me, I love sleeping. Because I feel like when I sleep, I can be at my best. I can wake up in the morning, I can work out, I can cook myself good food, eat that good food. And when I feel good, I give the best to my work. And the products I create, it's very important that they look A1. Like, it has to be 10 out of 10 quality. And if I'm not at my best, I'm not going to give 10 out of 10 quality. So if I'm feeling down while I'm creating something, I will stop and I will go meditate. I will journal about how I'm feeling. I will pamper myself if I need to. I mean, like painting my nails, that's a very therapeutic thing for me because it feels like self-care, you know? Like just taking time out to prioritize yourself. And it's just like a phone. When the phone runs out of battery and it dies, you have to recharge. So I look at self-care in the same way. Self-care is how I recharge, and self-care is how we all recharge. So I look at it to say, when my battery has run out, I must recharge. Because if I don't recharge, I can't turn on and I can't give my best to what I'm doing.